Tracheal colonisation with pathogenic bacteria is almost ubiquitous in all intensive care patients after a number of days of ventilation. Ventilator-associated pneumonia is the biggest nosocomial killer of intensive care patients around the world. And so it's a major public health problem that needs solving. And it's well recognised that aspiration of colonised secretions is the cause of this.
The PneuX system is an endotracheal tube, but it's got a number of features which enhance patient safety, and that's why we like using it. One of the unique features about it is that it prevents the material that gathers in the mouth, the secretions and the bacteria and so on that goes with that. They stop that from sliding down the trachea into the lungs. And for a number of our patients, particularly those that are critically ill or injured, we think that's a great thing.
It's a flexible endotracheal tube with a cuff on it which prevents fluid from going past it into the patient's lungs. It also has multiple subglottic ports on it that allows irrigation of and suctioning of any unpleasant material that may be sat above the cuff. It's designed as a flexible tube because for long-term intubation you want something that is gentle on the patient's larynx and trachea.
There's a few patient safety benefits from using the PneuX. The first main one is the cuff is designed in such a way there's no creases and it's connected to a tracheal seal monitor which actually maintains the cuff on any movement or anything the patient's doing. The cuff is maintained at a certain pressure, stopping anything dripping down into the lungs and eliminating the risk of pneumonia. You can also irrigate, so because the cuff has such a good seal, you can actually push saline into the space and irrigate out into the patient's mouth, clearing away any residue and giving the mouth a really good clean. From a nursing perspective, since implementing the device, I think I can see that antibiotic usage has dropped quite significantly, and due to the PneuX and other changes in practice, we have managed to reduce ventilation times for patients as well.
Another advantage of using the PneuX of a hospital is that it has been shown that using the PneuX has reduced the usage of antibiotics, which clearly has advantages for the patients and for the trust of a reduction in antibiotic resistance.
And so one of the barriers, I think, to adoption to these new innovations is that people get worried about the fact that they're not familiar with it or they're going to need a little bit of familiarisation. I can see that that would put people off, but my message to those people would be to give it a go, to be trained, get familiar with it, and you'll soon find it's like any other medical device that you learnt and trained on, and it's really not that difficult.
Well, like any new innovation, there is always a learning curve with adapting into clinical practice. So it needs to be inserted with a bougie or a stylet, but that's widespread routine practice amongst anaesthetists, so that's not a problem. The PneuX is connected to a endotracheal tube cuff controller, which again is easy and intuitive to use. So yes, there is a degree of a learning curve, but it's a short learning curve and has been easy to introduce and integrate into practice.
The training for the PneuX, it doesn't take long, probably half an hour is enough for most staff, and they work with it with other members of staff just to supervise them doing irrigations and aspirating the subglottic space. Other than that, it's used pretty much like a standard tube.
We've had tremendous support through the NHS Innovator Accelerator programme. The academic health science networks have been instrumental in our ability to be able to test this tube outside of our own hospital and outside of the region.
The Oxford AHSN sees the PneuX as a really important innovation in that it provides a way for critical care staff to be able to reduce rates of ventilator-acquired pneumonia.
The Innovation and Technology Tariff, or ITT, was born out of the NHS Innovation Accelerator programme, and it aims to help trusts and innovators overcome some of the barriers that they can face when trying to introduce new technologies and new ways of working. And it will make the PneuX system cost neutral for trusts to implement. The Oxford Academic Health Science Network is on hand to provide support to trusts in the form we will go and meet with individuals and with clinical teams to discuss their specific requirements and to give them first-hand guidance as they require.
When I think about new innovations such as the PneuX, I think about the harms that might be caused by it and I weigh that up against the potential benefits. We know that, particularly in an intensive care setting, that aspiration pneumonia is a big problem. And when there's a potential solution to that that minimises the risk of that, and when it's cost effective and it's simple, I need to find reasons why you wouldn't want to use a device like that. And for me, that's a great reason to get on and use the PneuX.